Hi, this is Rick Frederick reviewing an article by Bruck, Ceci, and Francouer, The Accuracy of Mothers' Memories of Conversations with Their Preschool Children. What is this article about? It's about asking questions about hearsay testimony. So often what is true is that parents are asked to provide testimony about what children told them about what happened. And so Bruck, Ceci, and Francouer are experimentally analyzing the accuracy of memories, what happens when memories are formed, how accurate are these memories, and so forth. So, what's going to happen is that children are going to tell their parents things. The parents are then going to come testify about what their children told them. And then the question from a defense point of view is, what's the accuracy of this information? What are the potential errors that are reflected in such testimony? So some of the principles underlying this investigation is that there's an untested presumption that adults can accurately recall conversations with their children, and that only malice or lying changes that. That's an untested presumption. What is different about conversations, adults and children? So if we have adult conversations, we're not actively managing the conversation. We're participating in the conversation. But when we're talking to children, we have to actively engage in trying to keep the child on task. So in this case, the parents, the mothers in this case, were interviewed about what their children had been doing, all recorded. And so the questions are, what did the parents have to do to keep their children on task, to try to determine what the children had been doing? Content is relevant for hearsay testimony, but also structure, remembering how information was obtained, even remembering what was said exactly is important. But what's true is that within seconds of getting having a conversation with the child, the target sentences are gone. What exactly was said is almost never accurately recalled. The gist is pretty good. So what they can testify to is gist, but what is often asked in testimony is, what exactly did your child say? And what we already know is that that's not good, but they'll evaluate that again here. Shortly after we get information, it's encoded, it's semantically represented, and this is what happens. You only keep the gist. The surface details fade, and especially for sentences that are not of immediate practical use, the verbatim memory fades quickly. Of course, we are quite interested in any statements that children tell us about inappropriate activity, sexual touching, those sorts of things. So that might be better memory for the surface structure of what was said. So in this study, mothers brought their children to an interview situation or to a interaction situation. They were told what was going to happen in quite great detail. In fact, what their goal was to figure out what their children had been doing, and they were given lots of ideas about what their children might have been doing. The interviews between mothers and children were recorded, and then transcripts were made of the interviews, and then mothers were visited at home to see what they thought about these transcripts, some of which had been changed. So, they would modify transcripts in an effort to see if the mothers recalled correctly what had been said. So, and they were pretty good for gist and less accurate for surface details. And if you tell the people, mothers beforehand, that they're going to be recorded and engaged in this task, it doesn't lead to better recall. So knowing that you're going to be evaluated doesn't help you. So when the researchers changed the actual statements, the surface structure, they're not very good at identifying when that happened. But mothers were much better at identifying passages in which the meaning had been changed. So, what is the result of this information is that adults thrust into the roles of interviewers have difficulty keeping track of the source of utterances, the spontaneity of utterances, and at times the gist, even within 3 to 4 days after a conversation. So it's not earth-shattering work, but it's an important foundational study of what's actually true. We can't assume that parents who in all good faith are offering hearsay testimony are doing so with great accuracy. Thank you.